my Smooners, welcome back to Being Mrs. S. Today's episode is Cooking with Mrs. S. Yay! Okay, so I'm going to be making something that I have always fumbled at making. And I think part of my fumbling at making it is because I'm just like uber impatient and I just need it done right away. But I absolutely love to eat this. And I'm talking about meatballs. So I'm going to be making meatballs, and I'm going to be putting it in a marinara sauce, which I'm not going to be making the marinara sauce from scratch. And that's not to say I can't make marinara sauce. I'm just not making it from scratch. But I'm going to be making meatballs, and I'm hoping that this time I'm going to get it exactly right. So because I always fumble at making the meatballs, I went ahead and I surfed through the interwebs for the best meatball recipe. And I believe you can use this meatballs anyhow you like it, how you like to use it, whether it's Swedish meatballs or spaghetti and meatballs, which is what I'm going to be making today, or what have you. And I went and I got everything that I needed for this recipe, and I am going to show you all the ingredients that are going to be in the recipe. And I think what I'll do as well is, I'm going to link the ingredients in the description box, and anything you see that if you want to recreate the same recipe and you want to purchase, please feel free to click on my links at Amazon. And disclaimer, I am an Amazon affiliate, so I get a fee if you purchase, so please support me by purchasing using those links. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what ingredients are going into the meatballs. All right, so for the meatballs, I am going to be, this is all going to go into it. Fennel, cumin, anise seed, thyme, basil, and the recipe called for fresh basil, but when I went to the grocery store I couldn't find any fresh basil, so we're just going to use this. Oregano. I love harissa in any of my meats, so I'm going to use harissa. So all these other spices, they're a staple they're a staple in everything I cook. The recipe only calls for oregano, like Italian herbs basically, but I'm putting in a little extra. Black pepper, crushed red pepper, salt, Italian parsley, Worcestershire sauce, Parmesan. I'm using a mixture of ground beef and pork, fresh garlic. I'm going to add a little bit of this minced garlic, milk, Panko breadcrumbs, a yellow onion, eggs, and of course, I always have to add a twist. I am using pine nuts. And I already have some pine nuts out that I'm going to throw in the oven and roast for a little bit. And I'm going to be adding the pine nuts to the meatballs. Okay, do you like my little chef's hat? And okay, and I think the last time I did one of my cooking or baking videos, I did announce that my 1000th subscriber will get either this apron or my other apron as a gift, as being my special 1000th subscriber. I'm not at 1,000 yet, so please subscribe. If this is your first time watching my videos, subscribe. It's one and done. Subscribe and we're good. And it's kind of you, and it's showing that you support and you like what I'm doing, so I appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to put the pine nuts in the oven, and I'm gonna let this roast really quickly. I dusted it with a little bit of kosher salt, and I'm just going to let it sit in the oven real quick because it can burn if you're not looking, just so it can get a little nice and crunchy. I love pine nuts in Italian food. I'll open it up and give it a little mix in a bit. And so now I'm going to start mixing all the items together in the bowl. First, I'm going to mix the panade, and that's going to be portions of the breadcrumbs and the milk mixed together. I'm just going to put it in the mixing bowl and let it sit for a while I prepare the other items that are going to go into the mixture. Okay, so I mixed the milk with the breadcrumbs, and this is the panade. I'm just going to let this sit for a while I prepare the rest of the items. Okay, so I'm gonna chop up some garlic, some fresh garlic, and the yellow onions. I'm letting the panade sit for a few minutes, and then I'm going to add the rest of everything else into the mix. Honey?
Yes, honey?
You want to open up a bottle of vino for us?
Sure.
I mean, since it's an Italian theme.
Si.
Prego, prego. So I love fresh garlic, but I hate the chopping or the mincing of it. So that's why I bought the ones that were already minced. But I'm just gonna mix some. I use a bit of the already minced garlic, and then I'm going to add this that I'm. Oh, opa! Oh, that's Greek, isn't it?
Si.
Of course I have the bigger glass. Okay, so I'm going to chop the parsley. This chopping of parsley reminds me of when I was in the kitchen with my mom and she's making some egusi soup or something, and she's chopping the vegetables. That was always fun to watch. Okay, so I have put in all right, I'm seasoning the ingredients. Okay, so I have added the meat, the eggs, and now I'm going to throw in the Parmesan and mix. This is the freshly grated Parmesan, and I am going to mix everything with my hands without making a mess. I'm preheating the oven for 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and now I'm going to start making the balls. Line out of the way. I've lined a baking tray with parchment paper, and I think this is a good size. Honey, can you give me a little bit of olive oil? Okay, the meatballs are neatly rolled, so I'm ending up with how many meatballs? 12, 16, what's that? 28, 29, 30, 31. So 31 meatballs. Okay. The oven has been preheated to 425 degrees, and I'm going to put this in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to start on the marinara sauce. Okay, those are the meatballs. They look like they're doing well. I took this one out to check on the inside, and I'm not gonna leave them in for too long because I am gonna transfer them into the marinara sauce. But here. Okay, so I've taken the meatballs out of the oven. Okay, so the meatballs are out of the oven. My B-Diddy and I already had a taste of one because, of course, we are impatient. And it was delicioso. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put this into my sauce. Right now, all I have in here is a gang of onions, garlic, and sun-dried tomatoes. I always throw in my Asian spices, my cardamom and cumin, and then I have fennel and all that in there. And I also have some bay leaves in there. So I put the onions and the garlic and all that in some ghee. So it's just gonna heat up, and I'm just gonna put the meatballs in there before I pour in the sauce. Sensitive marinara sauce. I don't even know what that means, but okay. Okay, so the meatballs are in the pot. I didn't use all of them. And now I'm going to pour in the marinara sauce and let it simmer on low, and I'll start on the spaghetti. Okay, so I've put the meatballs into the oven, and no, not into the oven, into the pot, and I've put the marinara sauce on top of it, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. I didn't use all the meatballs, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside and give my B-Diddy, who is hangry, a taste. Well, an extra taste, because he's really been munching on this for a minute now. Am I lying?
No.
Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can see how deliciously round and ballish it looks. You can see the parsley, you can see the pine nuts in it, and you can see the inside is properly cooked to where it needed to be for me to put it into the pot. And
Okay, honey, enough show and tell.
okay, cool it. Oh my God.
Thank you.
That is delicious. Oh my God. That is so good. Okay. Let me have some wine. Wow, that is so good. All right, now I'm going to show you what the meatballs look like in the pot of the marinara sauce. Okay. It's coming along really well. I'm just gonna let it simmer for a while the spaghetti is getting ready. So that'll be another maybe 10 minutes. Okay, it's all done, and this is my plate. So we're gonna go ahead and dig into this. All right, so it's all done. We're going to eat. If you want to recreate your own version, like, share, comment below. Let me know how it turns out. This is delicious. We're just gonna eat it all up right now. And yeah, thank you for watching. Love you, Smooners. And I'll circle back.